Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have some MirrorMe doll news to talk about from information on the release scheduled for today, July 1st. Store exclusives revealed, live action music videos and anime confirmed coming this year, unboxed pictures of the dolls, comparisons between other doll brands, and seeing what outfits fit and don't. Do they include doll stands, and more questions answered. So stay tuned, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support the channel that way. No pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. But for now, let's get into it. So I covered the basics in yesterday's video, talking about the character introductions, the event, etc. But here, basically, we know that they're going to be priced at $29.99 and they're going to be released in July. There's 6 characters in total, and the MirrorMe official account on Instagram actually shared later after I posted the video close-ups and, like, you know, individual shots of all the 6 characters here, and they look so good. These are definitely glamour shots. All 6 really stand out. They look amazing. Just the photography kind of reminds me of Shadow High's, like, leaked, you know, pictures and Rainbow High pictures. Like, those are the days. Remember those pictures that look so glamorous with the sparkles and the aesthetics and the filters? Just, yeah, these pictures really are giving me that kind of the vibe again from Rainbow High and Shadow High. And, you know, it's no lie that I do think, you know, Rainbow High is kind of, you know, MirrorMe is the spiritual successor to Rainbow High. They're like, you know, a mishmash of mermaids and Rainbow High together mixed, you know, and then they created MirrorMe as a result. So I do think MirrorMe is definitely yeah, a bit of a everything that we've seen in the past from MGA. The inset eyes, the rooted lashes, the proportions are definitely different than Rainbow High, but the faces look similar to mermaids, and very interesting. I kind of feel like they finally cracked the code. Like, they finally got it right. Like, they got it on point, because this time it does feel like this brand will prove to be very, you know, it will have longevity. It will hold for a long time. Fingers crossed. So the MirrorMe official account shared that there will be a official first launch exclusively taking place on the MGA shop on the 1st of July, including Akiko, Luna, Blaze, and Amora. Again, 1st of July on the MGA shop, as long as there's stock, I'm assuming. And so, but hang on, there's 6 characters. Where are Shy and Suki? Well, apparently Shy is a Target exclusive, and Suki is a Walmart exclusive. So that's the catch here. That's why they're only having 4 release early on the MGA shop. And then the other 2, I guess, Shy and Suki, will be sold on Target, Walmart, respectively, eventually in July. They did not mention specifics on Shy and Suki's release date, just on the MGA shop, which is, again, for the other 4. But they did mention to stay tuned for more information, so definitely go follow them if you haven't already, if you want to stay up to date on official future releases. But this begs the question, well, what about international fans? You know, just the whole rest of the world. You know, like, what about us? I feel like we make up most of the population, don't we? So I don't know when they're going to be released in the US, in worldwide, not just in the US. I don't know. I don't have any information, unfortunately, as of right now. But I would have to guess probably beginning August, fall season, they should start to hit stores officially worldwide, at least in Europe, Asia, other countries, like, I have to think, right? And I think for when it comes to international releases, there will not be this kind of, like, exclusivity to certain stores, because of course in a lot of countries there are no Targets, there are no Walmarts. So I think the most logical thing to do here is that they just have them released all 6 widely on Amazon in other countries. So I think that's what's going to happen. Again, not confirmed, but that's just what I'm thinking here. That would make sense. We just don't know when they're going to be releasing for international fans, which really sucks, because of course I live in Europe, as you may know, in Switzerland, and hopefully they come to Smith's Toys, or again, Amazon would be cheaper probably. No shipping, which is great. So let's see. Honestly, again, I'll keep you up to date if there's any news, but I think at least it's great that they're releasing already basically today for US fans on the MGA shop. Oh yeah, MGA shop does not ship to certain international countries, I believe. So that's why I'm saying like it's bad because I don't think they ship to like most international countries. Maybe they do, I haven't checked, but they definitely do not ship to me. So yeah, let me know if it has changed. I thought I checked, but maybe it changed. So that's why it kind of sucks, because I think, you know, for a lot of people, we're still gonna have to wait. You know, we're still gonna have to wait until probably realistically September, October, end of year probably, until a lot of us are actually able to like fully get these dolls and not make it a whole panic and stress inducing experience. But I honestly feel like they're worth waiting for. It's just the artistry here on display is something else, as we see, obviously. So I'm excited, but what do you think? If you live in the US, are you trying for any of the four, or for perhaps Shy and Suki? Or are you international like me and a bit disappointed that we gotta wait? Now, this is shocking to me. So we got confirmation by multiple sources, user SweetSnap and also user Claudina, of course. They both mentioned that we are apparently getting at some point later this year live action music videos for all 6 of the characters. And not only that, but as we all kind of assumed there would be an animated series, yes, there will be. In fact, it will be a anime. So wow, okay, definitely they're not gonna try to kind of reheat Rainbow High's nachos here. It seems like they're gonna try to do something completely new, artistically speaking. At least the direction seems to be going somewhere completely new, because Rainbow High, obviously the animated series was 3D animated, not 2D, and I think, you know, if they're doing anime, probably it's gonna be 2D animated, right? So that makes sense. I cannot wait to see like what that's gonna look like, what the storyline will be. I mean, you know, even if it is 2D, that might cost less to do, but I still hope that it's good animation and it's not, you know, involving any AI. I mean, I don't think there should be, because so far, everything we've seen so far from the MirrorMe dolls packaging artwork, it's all been done by hand. So we hope, fingers crossed, they keep listening and doing so well. But with the anime, you know, like what kind of direction could they take that in? You know, like what kind of storyline? It makes me feel like this will be a bit more adult oriented, because anime sometimes is a bit more adult, you know, not always, of course, but most of the time it is kind of like a bit more adult cartoons. You know, like people don't even want to call anime cartoons, because, you know, cartoons kind of like makes it seem less than it is, which, you know, I guess it depends on your defying how you define cartoon, you know. I think animation is like a better term, I guess, because that can refer to a lot of things. It's like an umbrella term. Like animation can be stop motion, clay motion, you know, animation, 3D, 2D, hand drawn. Like there's so many types of creative outlets, you know. So I think anime is just a very interesting choice. I really hope they have a good story. I hope they have good voice actors. I hope they have just a good idea of what they want to kind of go for with the story, the characters. Like, I hope it's deep. I hope it's not just like a cash grab kind of plot line, like, oh, there's a magical school and the girls are attending school and they're going to math class and it's hard, you know. Like, no, I hope I do hope it's a bit more deep and like deeper. Like, I hope there's themes and like messaging, and like I hope that there's an actual story here and character development, and it's just not like superficial. And, you know, like I hope it's more than just like product placement, obviously, and them trying to sell the dolls. I hope that they actually have a message and a story to tell to viewers, because those are the best stories that, you know, are worth seeing, are the ones that actually have something to tell you, you know. So anyway, I'm sure it'll be good enough, but I just hope it's actually decent. I'm just, yeah, anime, to me, anime, like that choice is a very strong creative choice. And of course, live action music videos, I mean, they are gonna do music videos because we know MirrorMe is gonna be all about music, so each character getting a music video makes absolute sense. But live action, again, a different medium, you know. We have anime, a series, and now live action music videos. Like, they're gonna have to cast each character, they're gonna have to have like a set design production. Like, I hope that they have a lot of this planned and in motion, and they're not just giving us hope, that will inevitably fall apart. So I hope they're not setting themselves up to fail, and they can actually realistically deliver all these promises. That sound too good to be true. But what do you think of this anime series and live action music videos? Like, I am very interested. Okay, now this was a big question a lot of people, me included, had, which was if they included doll stands. And short answer, they don't. Long answer, they do include the backing here in the packaging, which is separate. You can remove it and save it, and it does kind of serve as a kind of nice display backdrop for your dolls. You can kind of balance them on it and then lean it against a wall, and then that can kind of serve as a display stand, but it's not a stand. Like, let's be for real here. It is not a good, stand-in as a functional doll stand. Like, no, it doesn't serve as a doll stand. It's just a background that you can kind of save to display. But no, we don't. Yeah. So basically, no, we don't get doll stands. But I do think we get a lot of quality here, a lot of accessories, obviously the details, like, as you can see, as we've mentioned, right? Like, we do get a lot here, which is great. Just no stands. Also, interestingly, no brushes, no combs, no, nothing like that, which, yeah, usually, like, I'm just saying because, like, Rainbow High usually always have combs included. But here, no, nothing. So it's interesting how it's almost like MGA knows that these MirrorMe dolls are going to be largely bought by collectors who will not have to get an extra comb because we probably have our own. So I think that's very interesting that, they went with this choice, but still no collector, like no doll stand, which, collectors would appreciate, because a lot of us do not have extra doll stands just lying around from Amazon. A lot of us do, we rely on the doll stands that come with dolls. And if they don't come with dolls, they end up just lying on the table or balancing on the table, or they end up leaning against a wall. So at least it's what I do. Those are my tricks. Or, sometimes some dolls have big enough feet where you can balance them, like, independently, but that's a rare occasion. So yeah, anyway, enough, suffice to say, like, would it have been nice? Yes, but I don't think, like, at least for me, I do think the level of quality here is good. And so if the trade-off was, great quality, but therefore no doll stand, like, I will have to accept this fate, begrudgingly. But what do you think? Would you have really preferred a stand, maybe instead of accessories? You know what? I feel like I don't need the accessories, to be honest. The purse is good, but, like, everything else I wouldn't need. So maybe if that's, they could have used that budget for a stand, like, that would have been nice. But, again, I feel like that's okay. It's okay. We're gonna be fine. We just have to, manage. Maybe these backings can actually serve as a real, like, stand. Maybe there's a way to, like, make it work somehow, right? Because in these pictures you can kind of make it work, but I don't know. Again, it's kind of like a 50-50. Like, it's not really dependable. Again, it's not an actual stand. It's just a backing that can kind of work as a display stand. So now Claudina also shared a couple of unboxed pictures and nude pictures of the doll, so we can see better looks at the proportions and the articulation, and specifically for, like, Blaze, you can really get a good look at the face, which has her side glands, and the expression just is so unique. I really love the way Blaze looks and how she came out. But of course, the comparisons here with other doll brands such as LOL Surprise OMG are very interesting. You can see that some of the outfit pieces actually even, swap really well. So for OMG and MirrorMe, it seems like both work both ways, so you can swap them either way. That's really great. Honestly, just serves for more variety, and mix and match possibilities between these two brands. And also, of course, we get a Mattel comparison here with Monster High G3, and it seems like for the most part, a couple of stretchy accessories, clothing pieces might work on MirrorMe dolls, and the proportions actually are also very similar. specifically with Draculaura here next to a MirrorMe doll. Now, when it comes to Monster High G1, because they are skinnier, the dresses of Monster High G1 do not fit on MirrorMe because MirrorMe does have wider hips, but the other way around, MirrorMe outfits seem to fit on G1 Monster High. And lastly, of course, we have Rainbow High, the, inspiration, I guess, kind of for MirrorMe. It seems like most of those outfits probably are a bit too baggy because the proportions are so different. Now, Zombie X Corn Jay here also shared a couple of comparisons when it comes to outfit swapping. So he put Shy here in, I believe, an outfit from G3 Laguna, and it seems like it works on her. So I think as far as the outfit for Monster High G3 is stretchy, like the fabric, it seems like it might work on MirrorMe. And then we also have here for Rainbow High, especially with Gabriella's outfit here on Shy, it really does fit her perfectly. Like, it looks so good on her. So it seems like Rainbow High, again, is kind of like a 50-50 when it comes to some pieces working. For Laguna, Laguna's wearing Shy's outfit here, which seems to perfectly fit her. I feel like that's a really good indicator to what options may work. But it seems like when it comes to Rainbow High wearing MirrorMe outfits, it may be a struggle. It may not be a success all the time. So yeah, it really depends. I guess it really just comes down to some specific outfits working. Now, I saw user Seeing Around share this, fact about the event from yesterday where they had the reveal of MirrorMe, where they invited a couple of content creators to this experience, and Seeing Amount basically pointed out that basically none of the creators, were women. And that's true. All of the women in the videos that we've seen of the event are actual people just working at the event, not content creators. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy that they invited just all male, content creators. I mean, I don't think it really, it does matter. Obviously, representation matters. But, when it comes to creation, I guess MGA thought these people have the most reach. It is crazy because when you think about content creators in the doll space, there's definitely a lot of big names that were not here. Like My Froggy stuff, like Melissa from My World. There's a lot of female voices that could have fit in perfectly here, or like Elvira from the Doll Circle. I just naming a few. I'm blanking obviously right now on other names because I don't do well under pressure. But there's so many big creators and big female creators that are missing here. So once again, it feels like they're just inviting people who they favor most, who they've worked with in the past, instead of maybe just inviting people who actually have also a lot of reach and perhaps would also be a fit with the themes and stuff. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure. The people that were invited obviously make sense, I think, but it feels a bit like maybe they could have invited more people, fresh blood, more female voices. It's just, I totally get this, observation. It is once you see it, it is kind of true. It is true. There's no female content creators here at the event, and there's also no other lots of noteworthy content creators. It's a bit weird that it's a very select, hand-picked group. So I don't know if that's something telling or just coincidence? I don't know. Anyway, that does it for all of the updates we have right now for MirrorMe. So yeah, by the time you're watching this, I don't know, maybe the release happened already on MGA shop and maybe they sold out in a minute. I have no idea. But let me know if you were present at the release at the MGA shop. Again, for me, I'm not going to try because again, they're not going to ship to me either way. But yeah, so it sucks for international fans that we gotta, wait. But for those of you who are lucky, I hope that it goes well. I do think they should have enough stock. I mean, these are playline, these are not collector, these are not, so if they do, sell out, do not worry. Again, this is just a first release. They will be they will be eventually on store shelves and on sale. for sure, guaranteed. These are not collector, so I really hope that it goes well, and that, you know, if you miss out, do not worry, everyone will get their chance. And, you know, international fans as well, hopefully they will drop soon, eventually on Amazon and everything, and hopefully they're not too expensive on international, you know, prices. But I am excited. I can't wait for the anime series. I can't wait for the live action music videos. The dolls look amazing. The artwork looks amazing. Yeah, I'm excited for the 2 new emotions coming next year. What are those 2 new emotions going to be for the 2 dolls? I hope one of them is anxiety. That would be really cool if it was anxiety, or maybe fear. Maybe anger, you know, maybe like one of those emotions that are a bit more, you know, negative, because I feel like a lot of the emotions here present in the first wave are kind of positive, if not neutral. Like being shy doesn't have to inherently be negative. So, and feeling fragile also doesn't have to be negative. Like being fragile means you feel vulnerable, which means that can be positive as well, you know, for emotional growth. So I feel like a lot of these emotions that the characters portray are not really negative. So hopefully they, you know, get experimental with these emotions, with these ideas of, with these concepts of feelings, and, you know, so yeah, there's a lot of potential here for sure. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below. If you're able to, of course, to support the channel that way, no pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content coming your way, more content like this coming your way, and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Thank you also to all my currently subscribed members. I see you and I appreciate you all so much. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time stay peachy. Kisses.